Those frogs. Most people think Dallas's Jordan Spieth has the world in the palm of his hand. He does. But this week, he talked about the not-so-glamorous side of things, the pressures and stressors, and what allows him to keep moving forward. For this two-week stretch, DFW gets to rally around one of its own. We get a shot to see with our own eyes Jordan Spieth, 1 year older, 1 year wiser. But it also reminds us that most of his journey we don't get to see.
I've just had I've had experiences that a lot of guys have over the course of 25 years within 3 years. Ups and downs and everything in between.
Despite being consistently on golf's biggest stage, Spieth opened up about the aspect of that which makes him vulnerable.
Learning to kind of live life in the spotlight and what that entails, and you know what to block out, what to embrace. It's still a learning experience.
Perfect. Amidst a stretch where he's earned some of the game's biggest wins, but also suffered some of the most heartbreaking defeats, there's one lesson at age 24 he promises to hang on to for the rest of his life.
The highs are too high from the outside, and the lows are too low from the outside from my real experience of them. So trying to stay pretty neutral and just look at the big picture things and try and wake up every single day loving what I do.
Not too long ago, that wasn't the case.
I loathed going to the golf course for a little while, and I'm certainly not there now.
You know, he was so forthcoming. You know, I asked him, all the golf questions were flying and putting and all that other stuff. And I said, take us back a few years and tell us what's different for you as a pro and as a person. And he talked for 5 minutes, uninterrupted, 5 minutes. And he said that Masters loss 2 years ago, the way people were pounding on him, it tore him apart. It almost broke him. But he put himself back together. And that shows what kind of fighter he truly is.
It was such an honest, deeper look into what was going on in his head. And in most sports, golf is one that a lot of it is going on up here. If a guy starts losing it up here, his entire game shatters. So it was very cool to see where he was mentally throughout his career so far.
And for him to say he hated playing golf, as good as he is, he's already on pace to be one of the all-time greats. To say he didn't like going to the course, but now he loves it like never before because he blocks all that stuff out, and he says he has to be selfish. Selfish with his ambitions and selfish about how he makes himself happy, not leaning on outside talk.
Wow, good piece.
Yeah.
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it. All right, coming up, guys.